Hello everyone! Whoops, still got the monitoring on. There we go. Hello everyone! Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're going to continue on with 7.1 MSQ. Last time, we learned a little bit more about Gulja's mother, and she seems to be a Zeralja simp. No idea about how that works, or rather, well no, I can see what she might see in him, but like, also, like, there's better people to look at. Anyway, last time we finished up the dungeon, and let's go ahead and let's try talking with everyone again. I'm pretty sure I talked with everyone, and most of them are going to have basically the same as what they had before. But let's go ahead and talk to everyone again, and then we'll talk to Kryl and start up the next quest. Now that the danger is behind us, it started sinking in just how unsettling this place is. Hard to believe it used to be a village. Yeah, I believe that's what you said last time. It seems like Kaniloka was in charge here. From your recounting, he was quite dedicated to Zeralja. The villagers were likely monitoring the imprisoned troll Vidral at Zeralja's behest, and at some point they became involved in the research of souls. Tashilja, you said her name was? I wonder what her story is. Is it alright if I go around by myself now? Probably not. We don't know what kind of untold horrors are in this place. Among the abandoned, Kryl is eager to begin searching the research facility. While we've discerned the purpose of the research conducted here, the traces of it that remain might afford us greater insight into what came of it. Let us take a look around, for information as well as a way to the upper level. I'm sure we're gonna find some untold horrors or something that they committed here. Let's head on inside. I'm sure this'll go great. And no Gulja, you can't just go around on your own. Like I said, there's probably some untold horrors here that we haven't found yet. I mean, just look at that ominous red light. Everybody knows red equals scary. What happened to the people here? Did they all leave, or did we already meet them? Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought of that. What do you think, Alphanode? You probably have something nerdy to say. To think that people actually volunteered their souls for these experiments. I mean, if there's all just simps, then like, yeah, I could see them doing that. Success was far from guaranteed. Even in the best case, they would cease to be men. Was their devotion to Zeralja so absolute? Well, yeah, they're simps. That's how it works. What have you got, Alize? Hopefully it's something a little less nerdy. It won't open, and I don't think it'll yield to our shoulders either. Well, let me try. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and find a key. How nice. Wrought iron gate. Well, if it's iron, I could probably just break it. A lift can be seen behind the wrought iron gate. As sturdy as it appears, the gate will likely resist attempts to force it open. Again, maybe I should try instead of Alize. A security panel is nearby. Perhaps a verification key will open the way. Well, like she said, let's go find the key. Yeah, it looks like there's something behind us first. Let's check that area first. Maybe it's in the ominous red room we saw. Let's see, we can go in some of these. Ah, mangled corpse, how lovely. A journal lies next to the body. I was transferred to Yawata Station in order to train the villagers in the use of electrope technology. While a child can quickly learn to operate common contraptions, it'll be no easy thing for them to attain the requisite skills to develop new weapons. Ones which require no less than manipulation of souls. Thankfully, 2 of my pupils have demonstrated great aptitude in the field. Kaniloka, the village chief, and Tashilja, a field chirurgeon. I learned how to say that when we were doing the alchemist and culinary and what do they call them again? Wachumeki deliveries, that's right. Further driven by their loyalty to our king, their growth has been remarkable. I dare to hope that, before long, they will be able to carry out their duties without further instruction, and I may be relieved of my duty. Ah, interesting, so they took to the skills better than the others. I guess that's why they became the like leaders of this place. Well, one of them was the leader of the place. You find nothing that resembles a verification key. Perhaps you should search somewhere else. Perhaps you should search elsewhere. Yeah, I think I should. Oh, apparently that was just for lore. Okay. Let's go check where the key actually is. I mean, that's still some interesting lore, and I want to make sure to get those, because, like, it's the same kind of thing as how I try and talk to all the NPCs. I want to, like, try and get as much of the lore as I can. Speaking of talking with NPCs. I wonder what Beklug would make of this research into transferring souls. They'd probably think it was disgusting. Didn't they get, like, absolutely disgusted when, was that in the Hildebrand quests, or is that in something else, where they, like, somebody suggested, like, giving them their soul or something, and then they were like, no, how disgusting. The researchers likely moved between the upper and lower levels. Perhaps we can find a key among their belongings. Well, we checked one person, and all he had was a journal full of lore. It makes me angry thinking about what they did here. Well, I mean, that seems to fit with your beliefs. Anyway, test subject's journal. Let's see if we can get some more lore. They're recruiting volunteers for a new experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they wouldn't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Okay. Soul transferred a few days ago. I can write. Can write good? Yes? I am good. Very good. Oh, that didn't turn out very well. Getting hard to control strength. Today bit off hand of feeder. Cannot help it, so strong. Hungry. Always hungry. Cannot control. Eat. I must eat. I'm eater. I must eat. You find nothing that resembles a verification key. Perhaps you should search elsewhere. Well, yeah, I think I will search elsewhere. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like open cabinet's our last option. Of course, they put it in the back corner. I'm going to double check the audio again, just because I'm still paranoid about it. Okay, that sounds fine. Supplies for the staff are neatly arranged within the cabinet. Among the various items is a manual outlining regulations and outlining regulations and tranquilizing gas to be used in emergencies. You dig deeper and find a verification key. Perhaps it can be used to open the iron gate. Perhaps it can. Let's head back over there. I think Alizé would be happy to get through. Oh yeah, one of the things we wanted to find was a way up to the second level, right? Obviously, this is our ticket up there. Alright, Alizé, I got the key. You found a key? Great. I'll call the others. It seems the key can be used to operate the lift as well. Up we go. Coolja, don't run ahead. So this is the observatory. I didn't expect it to be similar, but this is a far cry from the temple that held Valagarbanda. Yeah, just a slight difference. All this machinery appears to still be in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure that monitoring can continue even in emergencies. The warnings indicate various anomalies related to the seal's failure, most likely. For a blessing, we managed to fell the beast before it could cause harm. Well, yeah, because I'm here. Right then, let's see if we can find some clues about Gululja's mother. I think I can use this terminal. Shale taught me how. Kid, how old are you again? There's so much data. I don't know what we should look at. Perhaps we can narrow down the search by inputting the name Tishalja. Oh, I was reading that wrong this whole time. Ah, it brought up a lot of results. They all seem to say the same thing. Tishalja, Administrator of Experimental Treatments, Research Logs. This sounds good, doesn't it? Chances are the data is encrypted, and even if not, it will take considerable time to go through it all. Then let us take it with us to the back room and have Shale analyze it. Yeah, let her do the work. Agreed. Alright, I'll transfer it to the storage device I brought. Oh, you brought a USB stick, okay. There, it's finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way here, everyone. If you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It was a fruitful adventure for both of us. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to everyone and then talk to Graha. I admit, the Troll Vidral gave me a fright at first, but then I remembered who filled the mighty Valagormond. I forget, was she in the fight with that? I know that in the dungeon they had so little people that they made her be the healer. And apparently I wasn't the only one who was, like, confused about that. I'll not soon forget our visits to that facility. It was a troubling reminder of the depravity that can arise from the belief that souls are simply a resource to be exploited. It seems safe to say my brother returned to Yawata for the Troll Vidral. He wanted its power, no matter the cost. Well, that doesn't surprise anyone. I'm glad we could find what we sought in the abandoned facility. Kilusa is really good at driving the hover cargo. I wonder if I can learn how to drive too. I mean, like, well, considering how well you can operate those computers, I think you'll be a quick learner. And here we are. The authorities will doubtless wish to be informed about the facility and its contents. But first things first, let us deliver the data to Shale. Yeah, so she can do all the work for us. Alright, let's teleport back to Solution 9. I think that probably would have fit a little bit better if I had done it at the end of the last part, but whatever. Obviously, I don't know. I haven't done these quests before, so I can't really gauge where good stopping points would be. So I just had to make my best guess based off of the, like, the quest titles, because I can see some of them. I mean, obviously I can see the quest titles in the list. Although, for this one, I didn't actually look at the quest titles, I just saw that the dungeon was there. And yes, Tassos, we are heading back to the back room. I'm not going to make the same backrooms joke. Oh man, they just got everyone to talk to now. The data The data will be in good hands with Shale. I've been thinking, it may behoove us to learn how to use the various devices found throughout Alexandria. Better late than never, after all. Maybe you guys. I'll leave that to the nerds. I'm much better at the whole killing God thing. From what I can see, things haven't changed much since the funeral. People are still listless like before. You found information on Gulja's mother. You lot never cease to amaze. Well, that's the usual reaction to our antics. Having now spent some time in these harsh environs, I feel I have a better understanding of how much of a steadying presence Sphene was to her people. Gulja had no trouble keeping up during the outing. He really is his father's son. I don't know if he'd take that as a compliment. It was Shale who gave me the storage device before we left. She said that we'd probably need it. And we did. Yes, we did. Thank you, Shale. Let's see, can I move around? No, I can't. I'm going to keep on checking that every single time with Shale. Because we found another one where I could just move around while talking to her, which was weird. Welcome back. Gulja has already given me the storage device. There looks to be a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to process everything. So I guess you're the one who has to go through and read about all the monstrous, what's the right word for this? Terrible atrocities that happened at that place. In that case, Alize and I will take ourselves around the city and check on the people. Their mood has us a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything we can do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I've finished my work. Thank you. We'll see you again soon. Yeah, that would have worked a little bit better if I had done that in the last one, but whatever. Just want to talk to everyone again and then talk to Mr. Rocky over here. I suspect the Alexandrians' plight reminds Alphinaud and Alize of the Guardians. You know, I was kind of thinking of that when they decided to volunteer themselves to go around to the people. Because during the Aurelian Reconstruction, which, I mean, I guess that's still technically going on now, they were the ones that stayed behind and actually, like, tried to help. During, I guess that would have been post-MSQ, wouldn't it? Little wonder they feel compelled to assist in any way they can. I met some members of Oblivion on my way back here. They themselves were returning after having paid their respects to Sphene. Can I move around? Yes, I can. Okay, it must just be when you're not in a quest dialogue, but for some reason it's only with Shale. Actually, I didn't check with the other ones. Decrypting files isn't the hard part. It's when the number of digits in a password is unknown that the long nights begin. That's actually pretty interesting that they would add that little bit in. Because if you know the number of characters in a password, you could narrow it down to, like, that gives you a significantly less options to deal with, because each case, if you have less character, if you don't know what the length of characters is, you basically have an infinite number of choices. Even with even when you have exactly the right number of characters, it's still a very large amount of potential choices, but it's not infinite. And you could theoretically try every single combination. I can't move around when I talk to the other people. It's something weird with Shale. I'll stay here with Shale. I mean, you're gonna learn even more stuff about these computers and everything. It's like, again, how old are you, kid? There's a lot I can learn just from watching her. Well, that's for sure. You've already learned a lot. I share our friend's concern. It's not surprising that the Alexandrians are having difficulty coping with their grief, but still. Alright, Rocky, let's go ahead and start over the next one. Guidance of the Hetso. Geode's concern is writ plain upon his face. Alize isn't wrong. The mood out there is still grim. Some of the trolley remember a time before they were dependent on the Sol system. but even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they'll have any chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With good reason, too. The journey home won't be an easy one for those who've grown old. That's why it's mostly been younger folk who've been leaving for Tyrol. Ones with no elders to care for, except the person that we saw at the very beginning was an adult with a family. Okay. Word of that problem has reached us in Tuliolol. My brother is doing all he can to see that Zuctorol Railroad restored to operation. Right, because he kind of like, destroyed the train when we headed into Vanguard. So that people may come and go more freely. Right, and before they actually had the train and they were going back and forth, but then we kind of like literally blew it up. Unfortunately, the tracks only go as far as Vanguard. So some traveling by foot will still be necessary. Even so, the railroad would make things a sight easier. How long before it's back in service? I couldn't say. When I left for this visit, Kona seemed reluctant to make promises. But while Shale is working on that data, we could go and see the state of it for ourselves. Alright, is this going to lead us into Nituike custom deliveries? Is that going to be the plot of that storyline? Which obviously we'll go ahead and do, because I always do the custom delivery NPCs. To the Shaloni station, then. I'll make sure to keep Kona informed. Alright, let's go and talk to everyone, and head on over to Yasalani station. Not Yasalani. Did she say Yasalani or Shaloni? Regardless, we'll go where we need to go. Let us know if there's good news concerning the railroad. We can disseminate, right? Yeah, I think that's right. Whoops. We can disseminate it through our network and hopefully put some minds at ease. Ah, yes, that would be helpful, actually. Raha and I will keep an eye on things here in your absence. Ah, yes, gotta stay behind, let all the nerds do their thing. I would be astonished if they were able to restore the railroad. Railroad service so quickly. The locomotive was nigh obliterated in its collision with the dome. Sorry about that. But I can't move around on this one, so it must just be some specific case. You'll have plenty of time while I work on this. Trust me. Sorry, Shale. Say hello to Kona for me. Don't worry, I will, except I don't think I'm going to be meeting Kona. Anyway, let's head on over to the railroad station. Yeah, I think this is what the Nituike custom deliveries is going to be about. Restoring the railroad and getting the train up and running again. That would make sense. Probably have to go in. Oh yeah, this is the station. Alright, let's talk to... We'll come out Nituike first. I filled Kona in. He asks that we continue to support the Alexandrias as best we can. Well, that's what we are going to do anyway, right? Operations... I don't remember how her voice was. I'll need to hopefully go back and maybe listen to it again. Operations are still suspended, but we're trying to remain optimistic. It's good to see you looking well for yourselves. Like, all of them had more, American, Southern or Western American accents. Because this is supposed to be the, like, Western United States. Valve resolve, and then I do a completely wrong accent, whatever, it doesn't matter that much. Valve resolve, and a brilliant mason to boot. What can I do you for? We're hoping for some good news about the railroad. There's an increasing number of people looking to return to Tyrol that can't make the journey on foot. I see. As it happens, the Valor Reason is also on his way here to take stock of the situation. And there he is. Ah, scratch that. On his way. Hello, nerd. And Aaronville's got a new look. I can hear the fangirls screaming. Looking good, Aaronville. Gasp. Did our little Bun finally outgrow his old clothes? That's right. He had been wearing the Gleaner's outfit. The Gleaner's uniform. Yeah, let's tease him. Actually, maybe not. Maybe he'll still be sensitive about his mother. Stop that. As you well know, my previous attire was that of a Gleaner, and I've chosen a different path. It was time for a change. Well, that makes sense. Do I hear about the railroad too? That's the wrong accent, whatever. It was in part for my sake that the original Dawnblazer was sacrificed, so I felt it only right that I assist with its replacement. Speaking of which, what are you doing here? I assume Lama Chi has explained the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty pulling her into the station, in a manner of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawnblazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations. But now we're back on our original problem. How to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of the Mehawetson. Oh, that's right, because they were concerned about, how it would affect the Renek, or something like that. That is, the Renek. Though the Hitsaro that follow them are none too pleased about their Hitso being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. That's true. The solution I've devised to quieten? I guess I haven't heard that. I haven't heard quiet used like that before. The railroad should address that complaint. But a silent train presents a different danger. The Renek will need to be deterred from wandering across the tracks. And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle. That's the wrong accent again, and you gotta stop caring that much. And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them, and they'll panic and be put off their grazing again. Weren't the rail routes plotted to avoid the Renek's preferred grazing areas, though? It's odd that they're choosing so close in the first place. The Renek's grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I'm not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of the Mehawetson for their insight. As a major proponent of the railroad, I have a duty to assist in this matter, and I too would hear with what the Hetso have to say about it. Now, I recall that when we went and met them, we were with Wokulamon, obviously. Or, we were not with Kona, obviously. And they specifically, had some reservations about Kona. So I would be interested to see how they react when he goes and meets them. Also, does he have a little outrunner on his backpack there? That's interesting if he does. They are the ones most affected, after all. I believe it would be best to begin by consulting their leader, Huato. The rest of you can accompany us to the Hitsaro encampment if you like. Well, I guess I have to go because the quest marker is going to be there. Let's go and talk to these two, and then we'll head on over to the camp. For now, we'll continue work on the silent locomotive as planned. Here's hoping that whatever you come up with won't require a total overhaul. Yeah, I don't know about that. It's only recently that the Renek changed their grazing patterns. They didn't stray so close to the track before. Yeah, well, that's the whole problem, is that they changed. Anyway, let's head on over there. And let me go ahead and check the quests and see how many we have. I believe it's, I believe we finished one. Yeah, so we got 3 more to go on. We're this one and then 2 more afterwards. Alright, there's everyone. Let's go ahead. I believe the son was, this guy was a little bit more interested in learning more about our culture and stuff, and then I was thinking that he was going to get told off for it, But then it turns out that he actually didn't scold him for it. It just ended up being like, okay, let's tone it down a little bit or something like that. Anyway, let's go and talk to everyone first, and then we'll talk to Hawato. This is Kona, Vow of Reason, is it not? I can scarce believe it. As committed as the Hetsaro are to tradition, they're amiable to the unfamiliar, or so I'm told. Actually, yeah, they were interesting. It was interesting, because normally when you get, like, these people who were stuck in tradition, not stuck in tradition, who were very traditional, you get them to just, like, reject new things. But they seemed, like he said, amiable to new stuff, as long as it didn't upset what their way of life, basically. At least that's what I remember. It's been a while since we did that. To think all of this can be packed up at a moment's notice to follow wherever the Renek lead, right? Because they're a nomadic people, and that's what Kona has some trauma from that, if I recall correctly, where he just got left behind or something like that, and so he doesn't have very fond memories of the Hetsaro people. Our prior visit to the Hetsaro was also on railroad business. Pray they do not take us as for train enthusiasts. Aaronville, please. Alright, let's talk to Hawato. Oh great, it's these people again. Vow of Resolve, Vow of Reason. I bid you welcome to our camp. But what brings you all the way to Mehewatwitson? I thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of the Zaktrol Railroad. You see, we want to build it right through your camp, so we ask that you leave. You too have noted the next unexpected change in behavior then. My son, Shipto, has been looking into this matter. Shipto? Normally, we'd expect the Renek to keep to their favorite grounds nearby for a while yet, and despite a thorough search, we haven't found anything wrong with the quantity or quality of the grazing in Pyarionon and Yawatane. Yet they refuse to keep to where they usually would, instead pushing westward toward your railroad. I certainly see no cause for this unseasonal migration. Nevertheless, should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Hetsara would, I suppose. As you may have surmised, I am of Hetsara descent. Yeah, that's why you got the ears. My parents traveled with Renek as well, though I myself have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration. One of many sacrifices necessitated by a nomadic lifestyle, I am forced to assume. Yeah, didn't we establish this? Oh yeah, he did tell us at the beginning of MSQ. A chance encounter with the kind Pelu merchant. A chance encounter with the kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. I became a stallkeeper in Tuliolo's markets, and that is where the Dawn servant found and adopted me. I had already been in the palace some time when Lama Chi came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. Well, not quite, but I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. And that's why he got so angry when she got kidnapped by Mr. Two-Head. Bakul Jaja, was that his name? Truly, I'd never heard of the Renek choosing a path so arduous as to force such a terrible decision. Nor of any Hetsaro willingly leaving their own flesh and blood behind. There must have been some exceptional circumstances. Yeah, okay, so now we're actually dealing with that, because a lot of people were probably like, what, really? And now he's gonna be like, yeah, that's not usually what happens. I cannot say. The idea of following in their footsteps that I might better make excuses for their actions never much appealed to me. But if they had a good reason, wouldn't you want to know? Even if it might help better understand the Renek's current behavior. Ah, that's a much better thing to say. The first one, not so good. As is so often the case, you are correct. Yeah, that happens a lot. People just don't realize it. Though my discomfort with the Hitsaro way may arise from fear of reopening old wounds rather than blind fervor for innovation, it would nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes. And to refuse to learn one of our country's treasured traditions would make me a poor dawn servant indeed. Well, that's why you got Woke Lamont. Please, teach me of the Renek, and what they mean to you. I promise to listen. I promise to listen with an open mind. You would be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. Not like you could stop me. Will you learn of Hitsaro culture with me? I should like to approach this with the fervent curiosity that you and my sister share, but it would be useful to know whether I am doing it correctly. Then it's settled. You'll learn more of the Renek, and we'll have a look around the plains. And perhaps, in the process, we'll find the answers we seek. Right, bestie? Alright, let's go talk to Kona, Huato, and then Shepto. My knowledge of the culture I was born into is from written accounts alone, and few of them at that. Yeah, I wouldn't expect the nomadic tribe to be keeping, have records of their stuff. Actually, no. I could see them maybe having personal journals, but not anything where they would, publish a book about it. Plus, they probably don't welcome outsiders to join them. Especially since they're, nomadic tribe that are hunting for their food and stuff. Anyway. It will be a joy to share our traditions with the new Dawn servants, except then he goes and does this, so I'm, completely wrong. So then it doesn't really make sense. Why wouldn't there be much written accounts of them? I guess they, if they're welcoming us in. Anyway. As we once did with Gulu Jaja, right? He joined with them too. Anyway. The quickest way to learn about our way of life is to do as we do. I hope you're not above manual labor. Well, that's literally my thing, right? Wait, no, my thing is killing God, that's right. I'm not the most experienced, I'm ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. Yeah, because he's a nerd in the classroom. That's all we ask. Take these tools. Now introduce yourself to anyone who looks busy and ask if you can help. They'll be happy to teach you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. Let us meet back here later to share what we've learned. Truth be told, we don't get many visitors keen to learn about our way of life. Anyone around here will tell you whatever you want to know, and then some. How nice. I mean, that's convenient for us. It will be a joy to share our traditions with the new Dawn servants, as we once did with Ghoul Jaja. Yeah, that's what you said. Alright, let's work around clockwise then. First person is over here. There he is. Playful Hitsaro. You're learning about Hitsaro way of life, are you? I may have... This is a woman, right? Yes. I may have a thing or two to share, but rather than talking your ear off, well, I mean, I've got plenty of ear, even more than you. Let me test your powers of deduction. I find answers much easier to recall later if I arrived them myself. Ahem. Our Hetso provide us with something that we use in medicines, poultices, and soap, to drive away pests and sustain our fires. What is it? Rennek fat? Bones, hooves are hooves, bones? Is it dung? Again? I forget what this is a reference to, but I know that we did something with like shoveling dung or something. Meat, organ, and meat. I think it's the bones. It's probably the bones. Both horns and hooves have cores of bone, and we use all these materials, albeit primarily in tent poles and instruments and the like. It's not quite the answer I was looking for. I would think that they would be like ground down and like mixed in with the soap, but I guess that isn't quite what they were looking for. It's gonna be dung again, isn't it? Okay, well I guess I gotta try again. To remind you, this material is fit for medicines, poultices, and soap, to drive away pests and other evil. Okay, yeah, it's definitely dung. It's gotta be dung. It sounds like there's a story behind there, but that is indeed the correct answer. Yes, it's gotta be dung because stuff. We've discovered a myriad uses for Rennek chips over time. Rennek chips, okay. Each a boon to our way of life. Where there is a need, our Hetso always provide. It's always dung. You know, what a load of shit. Hello, troubled Hetso, you need some help with your tent? This won't do. The wind will go right through it, and me without it my needle and sinew. Well, here is a mending kit that I, for some reason, have. Oh, these are precisely what I needed. I should be able to patch up the covering now. Given how often we pack up and reassemble our tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the Rennek hide they're made of is durable enough that we generally needn't worry. Yeah, of course it's made of Rennek hide. What else would it be made of? Alright, talkative Hetsaro. We're afraid I've finished my tasks for the time being, but since you're so eager to learn about our way of life, why don't I tell you a bit about our migration customs? If you're here, you will likely already know that the Rennek are our Hetso, our guides, that we travel with through the turning of seasons. We trust them to lead us to fertile lands with all we need to survive. But you may not know that sometimes the herd splits into two, bound for different paths. On those occasions, we Hetsaro must also part with half our numbers. Interesting, okay. You may think it's strange and stressful customs, but over the years, it has seen us view new lands and broaden our horizons as a people. This too is the wisdom of the Hetso. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. Alright, last person seems to be over by the water. They gonna be like fishing or something? Oh, nope. It's just ruffled Rennek. Let's talk to this guy first. You're here to help? Well then, why don't I show you how to care for a Rennek coat? Go ahead and run your fingers through it. Gently now. As you stroke the Rennek's coat, you note that many portions are shaggy and tangled. That's what the comb is for. This one's fur is a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Would you like to give it a try? You'll need the right tool for the job, mind you. A comb of the type you're used to would get lost in the... A comb of the type you're used to would get lost in the tangle. Like as not. Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, this is a big boy. Girl? I don't know. I'm not gonna go and check. Ah, Shepto sent a Rennek brush with you, did he? How like him. Now, just run it through one little patch at a time. Gently. Brush, brush, brush. Brush, brush, brush. You dutifully brush the Rennek until your arms grow weary from the prolonged battle with its coat. It appears much tidier now, though the same cannot be said for your clothes, which have acquired a new coat of their own. Yes. Well done. With less excess fur, our friend here will be more comfortable in the afternoon heat, and less susceptible to illness. A combed coat also makes it easier for us to identify injuries, should the need arise. Interesting point. Alright, let's head back over and tell Kona what we learned. There they are. Let's go and talk to Shepto, wrap this one up. You smell of the grass and the wind. I thought I smelled like Rennek, considering the new coat of fur I have on me. Which is a good thing, I promise. You could nearly be mistaken for one of us, or at least an adventurous Chitona. Interesting, it changes. It's gonna change depending on your race. I have to wonder how Valkona is getting on. I assumed he would be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems his wish to understand us was sincere. Ah, there he is now. Looks like he brought a friend. He seems happier than I expected. Apologies for my tardiness. I was tasked with grazing the Rennek, and ended up rather far afield. I found myself wandering hither and thither at my companion's inclination. To force us back to the trail seemed inappropriate. But how was your own work? Have you anything to share while I have this new coat of Rennek hair on me? Apparently I smell like grass. Its our life revolves around the Rennek, but in turn, the people receive all they need. The Rennek are treasured members of this community, as important as family. Yeah, let's do that. Indeed. The Rennek provide the Hetsaro, and in turn, the Hetsaro are good to the Rennek. Just as family should be. Yeah, that would work for the other answer, too. Mine is not the only way, though at times I lack the experience to know otherwise. My inability to conceive of how a decision might be right does not mean that it is wrong. My parents had a duty to the Rennek, as they did to me, and so I wonder if their leaving me behind was not so selfish an act as I once believed. Nah, it was definitely selfish. I have no way to know, of course, and regardless, this has no bearing on our present concerns. We are here in service of the people of Troll, after all. Hey, that rhymes. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find deeper meaning in what we've done today. And I will endeavor to remain curious, especially where the Hetsaro are concerned. Well, that sounds like he's grown a bit. I'm glad to hear that, Valkona. You're welcome among our herd anytime. Alright, so I've got, I think I have, I think I have some of these in my inventory, so I'll just go ahead and pick on some of those. Or maybe that's the food that I used up on the last part. Whatever. It doesn't matter that much. I'm pretty sure I had some of the other stuff, though. And yeah, I should have grabbed this Rennek roast. Either way, this food's a little more useful to me than the spell speed one, because I don't use, the only magical range DPS that I actually play right now is Red Mage, because I don't really care for Black Mage, and I find, I don't really want to play Summoner, to be honest. Let me see, so yeah, we've got 2 more to go. So I want to talk to Kona. The warmth of family. Kona appears loath to depart from his Rennek companion. Well, just bring him with you. I'm sure nobody will mind him trotting through the streets of Troll. Or Tuliolol. Kona, how did it go? Well, he seems to have made a new friend. And he won't part from him. I believe I finally understand the significance of the Hetso. They nourish the Hetsaro as they grow, and provide warmth and companionship in a harsh and unpredictable world. They are the equal of any man, not beasts to be tamed. Moreover, Renick are sensitive. Though we may treat their injuries or brush their coats to keep them hale, they must ever be free to follow their instincts and seek lands where they might thrive. The Hetsaro would never cage them, and neither should we. To control their migratory patterns or capture those who wander too close to the tracks is out of the question. Then what, are we going to build a bridge? We're going to build a, what do they call them? There's a big, I can picture them. So they have these, like, land bridges over highways that are, like, literally just, like, grass and stuff that's literally meant for, like, animals to connect to both sides of highways. Like, what if we tried doing something interesting like that? Then it is particularly important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we were able to visit the Renick's once favored grazing grounds. As we were told, the grass looks fine, but the place is too quiet. It's not just the Renick. Even the birds and the field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of Ceratorbitors, I don't know what those are, but they looked to be passing through in a hurry. Typically, that sort of behavior in the fauna would be associated with natural disasters, earthquakes, landslides, and the like. Though the Hitsaro would have surely put 2 and 2 together were the causes geological, I measured the area's ether to be certain. There was indeed nothing to suggest recent environmental disruption, but I did notice one anomaly. A strong etheric signature to the east, moving across the plain, albeit slowly. A large animal, perhaps? What do you think, Kona? Well, I don't know what it is. Actually, given where we are, I believe we are dealing with a powerful beast. A predator, perhaps, given the local fauna's behavior. One of the raptors we saw looked like it had a bite taken out of its tail by something with very large fangs. It couldn't be. A Turahetso? You're gonna need to tell us what that is. Turahetso? Renick Reaver in the common tongue. Our people have several names for such creatures. Fangs that steal Hetso in the night, and another evocative one. Renick can fend off many predators with their horns, but not the Turhetso. Turuhetso, okay. Their scales are tough as adamant, and neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. Yeah, but can an axe do it? I can test that theory. A well-toothed carnivore with an unusually tough hide. I cannot recall any such fauna in this region. They usually roam the wilds in the northeast, and most herds keep well clear of them. I can't tell you why this one is so far from home and its pack both. In any case, I believe the source of the Renick's consternation is clear, as is our next move. We must drive this reaver away, that they might return to their grazing lands in peace. So is that what we're going to do in the next quest, or is that going to be left till 7.2? Never fear. We will make certain that the beast threatens you no more. think he cares for this thing a little too much. Hope he doesn't want to take it home. Wait, that would completely defeat the purpose of the, Oh, wait, no, this is the last quest. So then are we... Oh, okay, this is a solo instance. Got it. Well, time to test that axe theory. Once I talked to Aaronville and Wooklamot. You know, the besties. Those Rennick Reavers must have a hefty set of teeth. And I'm not worried. But I'm not worried. We fought worse. Yeah. A powerful creature behaving unusually. Left to its own devices, it might well become a troll withdrawal. We must attend to it ere that happens. Sure. Anyway, Kona, looks like we're gonna have some fun. The Rennick Reaver is a clear threat to the local population. We cannot allow it to roam unchecked. But it won't do for us to go running off in search of it without having made the proper preparations. And if others returning from across the plain have spotted it, they may be able to inform us of its recent behavior and where it might be found. Well, if other people have seen it, then how are we just finding out about it now? Anyway, your progress through the upcoming battles. Okay, so this is a long instance. Okay, let's have some fun. Duty calls. Commence battle for the warmth of family? Yes, this is... Oh no, this isn't the last quest. Okay, yeah, obviously the next one is the last quest. Because the last quest is always the name of the patch. And this one is the Keybear family. Or whatever it said it was.
Help! Help!
Well, this is the first one that's been voiced so far, I think.
Hetsu is coming this way!
We just learned about it and now it's just suddenly attacking the village? What?
It has beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get them to safety.
We can assist by helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less agitated, it should be possible to hurt them.
And after they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Rennick Reaver.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Rennick when they arrive.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
That's not quite the accent I would expect from them, but I guess technically that it's the right region. But they're supposed to be more like Native American Indians. Well, let's have some fun.
Make haste! We must protect the Rennick!
I don't remember him having quite that accent, but it is appropriate.
Right behind you.
Search for the Rennick. Well, I think if I just hold straight, I'll be able to find them. Oh, well, Kona's turning, so I should turn too. Alright, there's some Rennick. Let's head on over there. Hopefully they aren't, dead.
They're terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
Well, good thing I have a soothe right here. Oh, never mind, I have to actually click on that. That's a bit silly. Oh, they're trembling. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I think everyone else has got them. Alright, there they go. Now, we're going to be able to continue here.
Let's look for stragglers.
Stragglers, yes. We get to run through here. Yep.
The Rennick are to rally too. None shall be left behind.
Oh, there they are. Nice little stampede. Are these the things?
Up ahead. Come. There.
Oh, they're pterodactyls.
These are no match for the likes of us.
Yeah, you mean me. Still find that animation so ridiculous. There we go. Oh, there's some more.
In a panic was clearly an understatement.
That's not the one I meant to click on. There we go.
Coming.
Oh, gotta block him. Aaronville, that just gonna stand there. I mean, it's not like he can fight. No, Wookiee can do the crazy animation too. Also, I probably should have held on to that fell cleave.
You're mine.
He's an alpha. Also, I'm pretty sure those are, what are they called?
Nothing then.
Are those all, I can't remember what they're called. What's his class called? Machinist, animations? Yeah, that one is. Oh yeah, those are machinist animations, but I saw like this big blue one. So I haven't played, yeah, this. Apparently that's a machinist animation. I've never actually played it, or I haven't played it yet. So I'm not a big physical range DPS fan. I enjoy Dancer, but that's mostly just because it's press the glowy buttons. Obviously I enjoy Warrior the most. There we go.
It seems that did the trick.
Yeah, except that wasn't the thing that we were going to, that wasn't the thing that we were looking for, was it?
For the fodder, at least. But where's...
Yeah, where's the real thing? Oh, it's cutscene time. Now it's gotta appear. There he is. Yeah, I'd say that's a little bit more terrifying.
Look there! We've got a big one coming!
Impenetrable scales and wicked fangs.
Just a little wicked fangs.
That's a Ronak Reaver, and no mistake.
Oh no. I think that's more than just a redneck reaver.
There! That one there!
Kona, please. Can you hit its eye? Oh please, Kona, really?
Not so fast!
Oh no, not in the glasses.
Even should it cost me my life.
Kona, please.
I will save the Hetzo!
Why is this so... I mean, I get that you had some fun with them. Yeah, see, let's see if an axe works. Nope, not her axe.
Kona! Are you alright?
Sure, my axe will work, though.
Do not concern yourself with me. Get the Ronek to safety.
I mean, Aaronville can do that. Meanwhile, we'll just defeat this thing. And by we, I mean me.
You've nothing to fear.
And just casually walk away. Meanwhile, this is this thing called a Reaver.
Right! Let's finish the job!
I made a vow to our people. You shall plague them no longer!
Okay. You spent like an afternoon with them, and now you're suddenly wanting to give your life for them? That seems a little weird. Anyway, let's get fighting. Alright, let's go.
You'll find the vow of reason is not without resolve.
It's not without resolve, that's a good one.
Damn it! Not even a scratch!
It's not even a scratch because they decided to give it a billion
I need
HP.
some time to think, will you? It must have a weakness, and I will find it.
Well, I guess if we're gonna find a weakness, it's gonna be him.
Keep it busy. I need time.
Well, I aim at tank, so I'll keep it busy. Keep using his nerd abilities.
Legs.
Probably shouldn't stand right there. Go ahead and shake it off to help us mitigate some of that damage. He'll just poison everyone in the general vicinity.
Now we just have to keep it pinned.
Okay, and she's gonna use Home Gang.
Get thinking,
Super Home
Kona.
Gang.
A protective current of ether. But whence does it flow?
I don't know. Isn't that your job? I'm just here to hit things.
I've got it.
So might as well get my beast gauge up. And of course it's gonna knock me down. This is our best chance, you know, when I'm down.
One well-placed
Alright, I
piercing
think
round
I
to
saw
the
this
chest,
cutscene.
and
Also, where did he get that?
you're done for.
And then they cut that to be something else. Alright, can I do something now?
That stemmed the flow of protective ether.
There's nothing stopping us now. Still not backing down, huh? Fine with me.
Get Storm's path back up. Ended up having like exactly the right amount of time. Oh, this one's gonna be a little more complicated. So don't stand here. Don't stand here. So you gotta actually like walk around in a circle. Okay, now we're good over here. Like I was saying, I woke a lot for this one. Yep. That was a two-person one. Probably should put on arms like I think this might try and knock us back. Nope, that was just an AoE. I should have shaken off. Forgot about that. Let's go ahead and heal myself out. Aether Call. Hopefully that doesn't mean
We must disperse that ether ere the river recovers it.
but of course it's gonna be one of these orb things. Okay, no, it's just soak the orbs. Okay.
This is going to hurt.
Primordial Roar, and I put it up too late. Oh well. Okay, I got 4 damage up stacks. It's 8 stacks for me. There we go. That was pretty fun. Mechanics weren't too difficult. That circle one was a bit that how they iterated on that the beam mechanic was interesting.
We did it. The Etso, are they?
Oh, they're fine.
The Ronek have all made it to Mehwa Hetsuan. Hunters are scouring the area for any remaining threats, but the local fauna appear to have calmed down.
We cannot thank you enough for your timely aid. You, most of all, Vow of Reason.
Right. Well, I mean, he did do that cool
You would
sniper
be
thing.
loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put your life on the line for our Hetso.
I did no more than is a Dawn servant's duty.
Sure.
The ethereal conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say we could repurpose them to create a device that emits controlled pulses of ether.
How convenient.
Ether resembling that of the predator the Ronek fear most.
You know, I was thinking we could just put down some spices on the train tracks.
Might work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad without causing them undue distress.
Except we're literally scaring them away from it.
Incredible! Kona, you've done it again.
Yes, he says Koana! I'm not crazy!
I must say, I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again. Still haven't forgotten the last one. And it's been more than 20 years now. I had come as a trader to the camp in Lozenihetta. A camp that was obliterated in an instant by that monster.
Seriously?
Lozenihetta. That's where the Pelu trader found me as a babe.
And here we go.
Please, can you tell me what you saw?
Tell me.
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with our fellow Hetzaro. Like us, they followed the Ronek. And like us, they were visited by a reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind in the night. It was chaos. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the other way, toward the fell creature. Well distracted, I heard one cry. Save our son! Save the Hetzo!
Yes, they were probably killed.
After that,
That's why they
Nothing
abandoned
but the
him.
pounding of my heart and feet and Rodak thunder. I ran and ran. And as the sun broke the horizon, I found myself separated from both man and beast. Windborne words say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronek and have long since moved on. But still more were never seen again, including the brave couple. Or so the story goes.
And what became of their child?
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the wilderness wouldn't have been kind to a little one out on his lonesome.
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu would. And one day, even a Dawn servant himself. All these years, I was convinced that my parents had left me behind to follow after the Ronek. But now I see, they didn't abandon me. They were trying to keep me safe. I've wasted so much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me everything I have today. It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family, even after they were gone.
He looks at her.
And now that I am Dawn's servant, all of Tuliyola is my family.
Don't you go start adopting people like Lamont does.
A family I will always protect, as my parents protected me.
Alright, let's go and talk to everyone, wrap this one up, and I think we got one more quest after that. Ivalcoana. I always pronounced it Koana because that's how they pronounced it before. And then they switched to Kona, and then Wiklamad just called him Koana. So I'm just gonna say whichever one I feel like, because clearly they don't care. Ivalcoana counts us among his family, and he is part of ours. You made feeling that to Hetso look easy, it was. On behalf of the Hetso, I thank you. We certainly got more than we bargained for when we set out to solve our railroad conundrum, well that's for sure. I can't imagine how Kwanda must be feeling right now. That Reaver, you don't suppose it was the same one that... I doubt it. To know that the Hetso are safe is more than enough. Yet, would it be wrong to hope that, in protecting them, we also avenged my parents? That's a bit much. It's the least I owe to them, after all this time. Brilliant, and thank you for standing by me, as Dawn's servant, and as the oft imperfect man beneath that mantle. Also, I just realized this isn't the end of the quest. There's a little bit more to do on this one. Now, let's return our attentions to the matter we came here to address, shall we? We have removed the root cause of the Renek straying from their favorite grazing, and obtained the tools to devise an additional precautionary measure, a silent whistle, as it were. This whistle must be capable of emitting pulses of aether strong enough that they will shy away from the tracks on instinct, yet not so strong as to drive them into panic. Yeah, that's a good point, because I was kind of being like, isn't the whole, like, if we're somehow not interrupting them, or messing them up, but then we're also like literally scaring them. But like he said, we gotta find the balance to not scare them, but just to get them to not go towards the tracks. If we can achieve this, it will be a far sight better than a traditional whistle, more effective and less stressful for the creatures themselves. Let us return to Shaloni Station and begin work on it then. Walika and his crew will doubtless be relieved to finally have a solution. Well, he was also hoping that it wouldn't require too many changes. Alright, let's head back over to the station. Well, I guess the actual station is where we're going, not the headquarters. Alright, let's fly on over there. Looks like we got just a little bit more. I guess, yeah, we got to tell them. This one will have us tell them about the changes, and then the next one will probably be just heading back and like talking with a Shale or something. Let's go talk to everyone, and then we'll Walika. A variety of artisans from across Stroll have come to assist with the railroad, so I foresee no difficulty in creating the whistle that Kona has proposed. Ah, I always carry a spare pair of spectacles or two, as it could be difficult to find replacements outside the city. You wouldn't believe how many I went through during the Rite of Succession. This train will be ready in no time. Well, I guess it will as long as I click next. No, I think I'll just log out and never do this quest again. Yeah, let's talk to him. You look pleased about something. Good news for the railroad, I take it. That's the wrong accent, but whatever. Silver and Nick were avoiding a predator, smart ones they are, and Val Kona's not too bad himself. And with this whistle idea, sit tight. We'll have this train on tracks before you know it. Sit tight? Yes. I think I'll sit tight.
We're ready to go.
I was kind of like, oh, is this going to be in the next part? Nope, apparently it's right now.
She looks as good as new.
If I had time to do a proper job, could have really made her shine. Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here. But as far as the Ronek are concerned, we've spared no effort. From the ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
That was fast.
You and your crew have worked wonders. Our nation is in your debt.
Come now. If anything, credit's due to Tuliolal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly. Besides, the ethereal whistle's the true marvel, and we wouldn't have that without the scales you brought us. However grateful you are, know that we're even more thankful.
Oh, okay, I take it back then.
Right. If we're done talking, let's put this train through her paces.
So we nod. What?
There's a Ronek up ahead.
Didn't we just...
Now, to test our whistle.
Oh, okay.
On it. Just point it in the general direction.
Oh, I
and-
thought they were retrofitting the actual tracks to keep them off of it. Because, like, if you're driving a high-speed train, you can't just stop if there's a Rennek in the way.
It's moving away. Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
I mean, that works, and it's also a lot less work than what I was thinking of. I thought they had to, like, do something with the entire line, like all the train tracks.
With this, we can alert those who wander too close without disturbing the rest of the herd.
A roaring success! In a quiet way, like. Then with your permission, Vow of Reason, the Shaktaral Railroad is back in service.
Well, that was fun. Should be the end there. Yep, let's go ahead and talk to everyone, wrap this one up, and then we got one more quest to do. I expect that with the Reaver gone, the Rennek will gradually return to their old habits, and we won't see so many approaching the tracks. It is good to see that the whistle will be effective in the meantime, however. And if they just feel like moving over to the tracks whenever they feel like it. Now that everyone will be able to come and go from the dome as they please. I can't wait to spread the word in Alexandria, of course you would. With that, I believe our work here is done. The fine people of Zektorol Railing can take it from here. I bet they can. The folks that Valcona brought in to help rebuild the railroad have already returned home, but I hope I can give them a ride someday. For a while we were really real worried we'd never get the railroad running again. No worry, you will. But now that the test drive was such a success, we can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. First Cheloni, and then the continent. Watch out, Zektorol, here we come. Ah yes, Transcontinental Railroad. I'm sure that won't cause any cultural significance and issues. I share the sentiment. We've got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operations. Time to get back to it. You know, like into weekly custom deliveries. The efforts of all here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more, I thank you. As for our own work, I trust you can handle matters in Alexandria, Lamanchi. Yep, let's wrap this one up. One more to go. Alright, talk to Aaronville, then we'll come on to pick up the last quest. It won't be as I once envisioned, but perhaps someday we can take that train together, to Yasalani together. Crossroads. Never one to stand still. Wilclamod is ready to race back to Alexandria. Well, it's possible that Shale's made some headway by now. And regardless, we should spread word that the railroad's been restored to service. Shale, what do you have her working on? Yeah, we got all this data and we dumped it all on her to do the decryption and everything. Gulja's mother. Oh, I see the Outrunner now. Yeah, he's definitely got an Outrunner on his backpack. I forgot to go check that. I'd feel the same in his shoes. Have felt the same. Some questions are painful to leave unanswered. There's no cause to look at me like that. The Kakiwa we met may have only been a simulacrum. I forgot how to look. I forgot to look up how to say that word. But her memory was real. Yep, he does have an outrunner on his backpack now. I guess they wanted to make it clear, so they literally just have him turn around. I needed to search for what she left behind, because she left it with me, and I will carry it always. Yeah, she was his mentor as well as his mother, so he learned like everything from her and then became a cleaner. Yep, there it is. Yeah, they're just flat out showing it now. Okay. I noticed it, but... Speaking of things you're carrying... Is that a teeny tiny Kakiwa? What? No! It is merely a token from Alexandria. Our friends in Oblivion would not take no for an answer, and I thought it is as a good souvenir as any. Right. Whatever you say, bestie. For what it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring her with you on your travels. I prefer her bun girl form, though. Yes, well, you're off to the dome now, aren't you? I thought I might join you for a time. See if there is aught I can do for the people there. Much changed though it is, I still consider it my home. Of course! We can give you a full story on the way. Apparently we're just walking there. Alright, even though we just got the train up and running. Alright, let's teleport back to Solution 9 and head to the back room. And I won't make the same joke I made 30 times last time. Nope, that's what I want. Teleport over here. Neon Stein. In the recreation zone. Well, the Arcadian is here, so yeah, I'd have to say it's the recreation zone. Hello, Tassos. Yep, take me on back. Yep, head into the back room. Alright, let's go and talk to everyone, and we'll find out how Shale's been... Find out how much Shale's gotten done. You must be exhausted. Shall I nip out an energy tonic? No thanks, I don't really drink energy drinks. So Zoralja was conducting secret research in Yawada. I have some memories of the place from my childhood. So can I move around? No, I can't. Glad to be back. Glad you're back. We wouldn't want to keep Glowjaw here waiting any longer than necessary. Aaronville's wearing his Kakiwa. That makes me happy. Looks like we arrived at a good time. A simple yet elegant solution, and thus is the railroad back in operation. Meanwhile, Shale has nearly finished processing the data. She will be able to share her findings with us imminently. Ah, hello. Convenient for you to show up when there's gonna be a bunch of soul stuff. I'm interrupting something, I gather. Why, Y'shtola, what brings you here? I've seen enough of the gates in the Skydeep Cenote for now, so I'm shifting my investigation to living memory. Well there, I thought I would do well to have a company of an expert on electrope. You know, like Gulja. Oh, you meant Shale, okay. I'd like to take a closer look at the place myself. I can join you once we finished here. Lest you fear I've forgotten, once I've made headway with living memory, the key in your keeping shall be the next subject of scrutiny. Well, I guess I'm going to spend more time with Y'shtola, which I'm not going to complain about. I mean, she's the one that usually gives us the lore dump anyway. Anyway, let's learn about Gulja's mother.
There was a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit. but it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest. So, to answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Teishulja herself. While I've not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
Yes, please.
All right. Several audio files will now play in sequence.
My name is Teishulja, and I decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order, I suppose.
Mother?
Officially I was a Chirurgeon with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatched to Yasulani to hunt a Tural Vidral that was wreaking havoc. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic distribution of medicinal herbs in this region. Or so I said when requesting special dispensation. In truth, I could not bear to return to Tuliolal. I had hoped to aid Commander Zoralja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course, one of the nameless many in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran, and in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path, a path that changed my life. When the dome appeared, I found myself trapped within and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zoralja? I admired him. His incontestable strength, his unwavering focus. He was a man of great passions.
That's an understatement.
I watched him, captivated by his intensity. From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him. His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else, beyond the horizon. That gaze would never fall upon me. I knew. The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised, I will have my heart's desire.
Ma'am.
Today. It should have been today. A new beginning. What I have dreamed of for so long. I hold a future in my arms. If he could see him, embrace him, surely that would be enough. So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
Its scales are blue.
He's your son.
My...
Interesting.
No, I can't. I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child, be a father.
That's really interesting.
I don't. I can't. No! No! Get it away from me. Get that thing away from me!
It's all right, little one. Papa was just surprised. That's all. He'll come around. We'll be a happy family.
Well, that didn't happen. Yeah, so that's really interesting because just how we
Shouting for me.
like. Wait a
The
minute.
research hasn't been going well, but I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where to hide you.
Poor Gulja.
That's all of them.
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
We know some manner of accident happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother couldn't come back for you.
Hey, Gololcha.
I'm fine, Lamarchi. Father and Mother, they were both so lonely. If we could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try.
Again, how old is this kid? He's like learning these lessons way too young.
I can't tell if I'm happier now. But it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
So wait, why was this called Crossroads? I forget. What a mess. Well, yeah. It's Zeralja. What did you expect? So okay, so let me actually try and like articulate my thoughts about this. So it's interesting to see Zeralja react like this because we saw when he was doing his whole monologue and during his fight that like he basically just felt abandoned by his father and or slighted, is that the right word? For in favor of his adopted siblings. Like, oh, you weren't good enough, so I went and adopted 2 new ones to make up for your deficiencies, even though that's not how it was at all. And so when he learned that he had his son, he just like couldn't grapple with that because he felt like his father didn't do a good job. How the heck is he supposed to know what to do? And then obviously he had that reaction, and now Gulja's here. If the dome had not appeared, Tishalja's tale would not have been... Tishalja's tale would have been very different. Yet whether or not she would have been happier, I cannot say. You may find it hard to believe, but until the rite of succession, Zeralja was a good brother to me. No he wasn't. Didn't we establish that he, like, basically ignored you? Anyway, always... and I thought that Papa was the best father anyone could ask for. I don't want to think the time we spent together as a family was a lie. I still don't understand why they keep writing this like that, when at the very beginning of the story, they literally wrote a little section where Kryl saw with her Echo that he wanted to kill them. I still don't understand why they keep trying to retcon that. The guy was crazy and he wanted to kill them. Why do you keep trying to brush that away? Are you trying to make it so that he actually was a decent character? You messed it up in the... Like, he was a better character than, like, Sveen, but it's still, like... no. Whatever. Also, I said I was going to try not to complain, but that's, like, the only time where I've really complained about this so far. It's okay. I wanted to know more about my parents, and now I do. And I don't regret it. Well, that's good. I have Lamachi and Koana, and you, Brilliant. I'm not lonely now. Well, that's good. What about Shale? Tisholja left written records as well. I'll compile them for Glulja. Perhaps something in them will be of comfort. Well, I mean, I think she really did love him, Glulja, but it also might have just been because it was Zerolja's kid. No matter how brave a face Glulja puts on, I expect it will take him time to come to terms with this. He's a strong one, though. You needn't to worry too much. I'm sure I won't. Let's talk to Kryl now. I almost missed her. Why leave such a record, you ask? I cannot be certain, but I believe Tisholja simply wanted someone to know how she felt. To understand. Yeah, it was kind of weird that that whole interaction was recorded. Seems like something she'd write about afterwards. It's better to know. A profound response for one so young. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Though I wish he didn't have to be. Glulja is indeed wise beyond his years. That's what I keep saying. Yet one never outgrows the need for dependable companions. 'Tis fortunate he has you. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's fortunate. Thank you, Shale. Because of you, I got to hear my mother's whole story. Except for all those written records that she's still got to compile. You heard it because you were brave enough to listen, Glulja. If you remember one thing, remember that. Now then, having shared what I can present, I am ready to head to Living Memory when you are. I am planning to be thorough, so we will need to stop for supplies on the way. That said, I promise we won't remain over long. I know we all have much and more to attend to. For now, farewell. Okay, so obviously we're gonna go do something in Living Memory for 7.2. Alright, let's go and talk to everyone again. I wonder if they have anything different. One wouldn't know it to look at them, but Shale and Yisholo are birds of a feather. An incorrigibly restless feather, well that's for sure. I'll stick around for a while. Let me know if you need me. Is Shale going to be alright out there? The whole time she was working on the data, I never saw her take a break. Well, that's why we've got the energy tonic. With the railroad ready, I'd like to get some idea of how many returnees we can expect before heading back to Tuliodal. The twins have yet to return. I hope everything is alright. Oh, I'm sure they're fine. A word before you leave. Our network's already spreading word of the railroad. We expect people would be clamoring to get on the first train back. Yet the reaction's been the polar opposite. Scant few seem inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon. What? When we spoke before, you said many of Tuliolol were eager to reunite with friends and family. Maybe they're concerned about getting through Vanguard. If so, we could take turns accompanying them. In any case, we need to speak with the people ourselves. Let's start at Leno 9. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna question the locals again. Okay, let's talk to everyone one more time. The people were so nervous about remaining in Alexandria. I cannot help but wonder what prompted this sudden change of heart. Yeah, that is a bit weird. Either that or maybe they wrote half of this and realized they needed to change it. Again, I said I'm not going to complain or speculate, but that wouldn't surprise me. I've asked Geode to fill me in on all that has happened in the Dome of late. If I hear anything of interest, I'll be sure to pass it on. Thank you. Now that the railroad's working again, it'll be much easier to visit Tuliolol. It would be nice to see Koana again as well. Wasn't he here before? Oh no, we met him at the station. Perhaps we will venture out for a bit ourselves. I'm as surprised as you are. Everyone was keen to pack their bags before, but now that the journey is possible, they couldn't be bothered. Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, let's head on out to Leno 9. I think that's what they said. Let's see, where is Leno 9? Oh, okay, right at the center. Okay. Teleport on over there. Oh, it's this way. I didn't realize it spawns us on the north side. I thought it was the south side. Alright, Wickelmot, who do we need to question? There may still be people gathering in Praxis Park. Let's try there first.
People look uneasy. Did something happen?
Have you heard? Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
And how did the not... did the...
The Thunder Yards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
It was a hunter, all right. And a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of lightning.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zaraljar's attack on the city.
Oh, now they're gonna be afraid to leave.
For an upright, hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong.
It feels a little weird that they wouldn't have heard about this with their information network.
We'll be fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators continue to function.
I mean, you're Lala, so you're probably not a big lightning rod.
I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only natural.
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have no memory of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be blissfully unaware. It could happen to you, or me, to any of us.
I mean, this is a reasonable thing.
To do? Spend every waking moment thinking only of how we might die.
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new situation. But it's only gotten worse.
Yeah, so how do we deal with this?
It's Queen Sphene!
What? Oh, right.
What?
help, Queen Sphene. The grown-ups are really upset, and I don't know what to do.
And I'm British.
I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here to set things aright.
Yes, so I don't know how this all works out. I just know that a version of Sphene appears.
Sphene is gone. Forever.
What did you do?
You there, Gusson. You were the Queen's aide, weren't you? What's the meaning of this?
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resolve. But Her Majesty Queen Sphene is paying visit to her people, as is her wont.
Oh no.
What are you talking about? Sphene is dead. You officiated the funeral yourself. We all placed flowers to mourn her passing.
Regulators?
Funeral?
They're all still wearing the regulators. Yep.
What a curious jest. You know full well that ceremony was to commemorate those lives lost during the attack of Alexandria.
Okay, so who's doing this?
Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them in this most trying of times. Surely that is not cause for consternation.
Your Majesty, won't you free us from these terrible memories of the departed? This is no way to live, not for us, nor our children.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with living memories shut down, even I cannot restore the system that once afforded us that comfort. You needn't fret, however. I have prepared an alternate solution.
Oh no, what is this gonna be?
All of us shall be made endless.
No! What?
I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into
Oh, I know what this is gonna be. It's gonna be the guy who was leading that other place.
This way, you need
He's probably still alive.
fear death. You may live as you please, and for as long as you like. Our stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide this boon to everyone. But some of you received neo-regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not? And there are still more we have yet to distribute. 5,000 in all. One day soon, those with neo-regulators will be called to join the Endless, and thence be free of suffering forevermore.
But only 5,000 of us?
No, this isn't good.
You Victral! The real Sphene would never be content to save only some of her people.
Well, that's true.
Who are you?
That was her whole character flaw.
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Smile. Ominous FOV change. And then let's end the patch there. Yeah, we need to withdraw for now and figure out what the heck's going on.
Let's return to the back room. I need to calm down, and then we'll talk.
Yeah. I knew I've seen the other NPC with Sphne's appearance. But obviously I don't know any of the context on that. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to everyone. Everyone lined up for me. Very nice. Let's start from here. Talk to everyone and wrap this up. There's naught to report yet, but we will have all eyes and ears out in Everkeep and Heritage found. Sphne was erased. If she's back, then art the endless. Seriously, what was that? Queen Sphne has returned? How? You saw Sphne with your own eyes then, so it wasn't someone else. We've heard the Queen of Reason's proclamation. The rumors spread through the district like wildfire. I mean, I bet they would. Without the Meso terminal, how does she propose to create a new Endless? We must contact Y'shtola as soon as possible, that's for sure. We only caught the proclamation from a distance, but I can tell you that the message about neo-regulators was received with utmost clarity. It couldn't have been Sphne. She should have been destroyed when the Meso terminal shut down. Without a single Alexandrian to bear witness, presented with an incidental figure claiming to be their beloved queen, 'tis no surprise that they would choose to believe she's alive. Especially when they have these things that can alter their memories on their heads. What's troubling, however, is their denial that the funeral was held in her honor. 'Tis as if their memories have been erased. No shit. I know I said I wasn't going to complain, but that's a real no shit kind of moment. Given that the members of Oblivion remain unaffected, that it was likely the work of the regulators. But by whose design? So my theory is that it's going to be the guy who was in charge of that place that we were, the field station place. And that he's going to be the antagonist for right now. And somehow that's going to lead, that's going to wrap up. And then we're going to use that to wrap up all the loose ends in Dawn Trail for 7.2 and 7.3. Because eventually we got to get those regulators off of their heads, right? Someone smart enough to play at being the Queen of Reason. In that guise, even if someone suspects deception, most Alexandrians will be on her side. We need to find out who she really is. Well, I agree wholeheartedly. We should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be patient until Oblivion's network turns up a lead, or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move. So, you know, wait till the next patch. Alright, crit materia? Yes. Oh, one of the last cutscene, that's right. Meanwhile, in living memory, right, you're totally in Shaler there. This isn't good. Oh, there they are. Okay. I thought we were looking through their perspective. Ah, there we go. This is Sphne's voice. This is the version of Sphne that I saw. Most likely.
My people, are they safe?
How do they not see her? Like, obviously they would see her and, like, go talk to her at this distance. There we go. I was expecting them to be running over to her beforehand, or sooner than that. Well then, I can kind of see why people, so okay, let me try to give my quick summary of this. So, I didn't think 7.1 was really that bad. There were definitely some questionable writing decisions, but I really, like, learning about Zeralja's mother is interesting. Zeralja Kuluja's mother, that's interesting. And then learning a little bit more about the Renek and getting closure on Koana's parents, not actually abandoning him, although it was kind of written a bit weird, but that's just me being pedant, that's just me being a complaint artist. But now this ending is, a huge question mark. And a what the heck is going on kind of thing. So I do look forward to 7.2, and I can definitely see, I've heard that 7.2 is much better, and I can see just from the setup that they have, as long as they don't completely mess it up, it seems like it's going to be pretty interesting. I don't know how they're going to resolve it and make it satisfying, but like having, because people didn't hate Sphene herself, they just thought that her motive, at least in my opinion, it was just mainly Sphene's motivation had very big, obvious flaw. Anyway, 7.1 wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, or at least from what I heard from other people, and then I look forward to 7.2. So next time I think we're going to get started with, so 7.2 added the custom deliveries NPC and the first tribe quests, or whatever they're calling them, allied societies. So we're probably going to go ahead and unlock those next time not in the next stream. Until then, goodbye.